Welcome to Anatomy of a Script. This is extremely vital as we get started in understanding C#, where we're going to break down the structure with C#. So just as a quick overview, we have at the very top, these are our namespaces that I've typed in. Those are pre-written code. More on that later. Line 6 is going to be our class name. It'll say public class, and then we have the name of our class, which is also the same as the file name, or at least it has to be the same, or else you'll get an error. We have then a variable here. We have these functions. We have some punctuation. Specifically, we have this green where we have the 2 forward slashes. That is our comments where we can take notes. And that's what we're going to do. So kind of breaking this down, the namespaces are only going to go up the top, and then inside of our class, you'll see the first thing that we have is curly braces. And these curly braces, one is going to be the beginning of our code for the class, and then the other one is going to be the end of our code. So that basically means you don't want to put anything before the first curly brace and anything after the last curly brace. Now, a comment we can do because it's just ignored by the compiler, Visual Studio. Inside of that is where we're going to have our variables and functions. So we first have a variable listed here, just as a quick example. All global variables are going to be kind of listed here, right? I could include another variable, but you would put your variables here up at the top, specifically global, but more on variables in another video for those specifics. Then we have these functions, also known as methods, but functions. The start and update come from Unity, and there are a lot of other Unity methods as well, and generally we're going to place those in a specific order. Just for organization, you don't have to, but that's what we generally do. So we have void awake, and that runs before start. So usually we'll put awake first, then we'll put our start method, and then after that we put our update method. And then following is any other functions that are our custom, our own functions. So I have one here for run custom method, and that is my custom function. So inside of our functions, you'll notice a couple things. Is number one, when we name our function or our method, it is going to have parentheses, and that generally signifies if there's no parameters or if we're going to put in parameters. And then we have our curly braces. Our curly braces are going to be where we put our instructions at. So for this method, whatever instructions for whatever we want it to do is going to be in here. Of course, a lot of that ties into what is a function and how do you write a function. That'll be in another video that you can check out. But we just want to kind of break down the anatomy of your script. So generally, the compiler is going to read it from top to bottom, but it's also going to come back to different parts of the code. So we generally organize it top to bottom. But something like update, well, that's running every frame of the game. It doesn't have to be at the beginning or the end or in the middle, but generally we kind of have it right here in the middle, and then we'll put custom methods after that. But we just kind of put them in an order that makes sense to organize everything.